Yo, what up? Triple B Base, Boxing Basement. Please like, subscribe, and donate. Thank you very much to my boy, someone who gave me 3 beers. So see the description. Okay, so we're talking about one of the potential futures of the heavyweight division, Bakhodir Jalolov from Uzbekistan. Now, he's an interesting guy. Obviously, he's won 2 gold medals, right? He's won 2 gold medals, but he went to the Paris Games, right? Having been a pro and having had 14 fights, all wins by big way of KO, as David Gimante would say. Now, as we know, pros are allowed to compete in the Olympics, and there's no limit on it. Whoever, I don't even know who rules, right? Olympic boxing now. It's changed, right? I don't even know what's going on with that. I don't really care either. But they were always changing the rules, and they were ridiculous. They were corrupt judges changing the rules when it was the AIBA. There was a time when, honestly, embarrassing. They decided to reduce the weight divisions. So what did they do? Instead of getting rid of something ridiculous like light flyweight, which is for people who are like 7.5 stone or something. How many males do you know are 7.5 stone? I don't know any. But instead of doing that, they got rid of the super heavyweight division. So it meant that no one over 14 stone, could fight. What was it, 91 kilos and whatever? I don't know. They was changing the weight categories anyway, so I can't even remember. It's a joke, really. And people say amateur boxing is not for money. Oh, so it's not. It won't be corrupt. Well, it is corrupt. Everything's corrupt. On club shows they give the home fighters the decisions when they don't deserve it. I mean, everything's corrupt. But Bakhodir Jalolov he's 30 now. Yeah, and he's expected to be in the mix when the current, elderly heavyweights have left. That's Tyson Fury. Well, he's allegedly retired. J is, I think he's 33, but he's had like 4 losses now. He's been brutally KO'd by a guy with an IQ of 45, who I like. I'm talking about Dubois, not Fat Andy. Fat Andy almost KO'd him. The pizza-eating, taco goblin pig. And 2 clear losses by Usyk. So, when he goes... when Tyson Fury's gone, allegedly, Zhang will go. Joe Parker's still only 32, actually, but, he looks shop-worn anyway. It doesn't mean he won't win against Dubum, but he does look shop-worn, Parker. Wilder, obviously, I think he's 39. I think he wants to have another couple or something, but, these guys will all be gone. And then there's the next gen. And the head of that will be Bakhodir Jalolov. Now, he's not that young, obviously, because he's done 2 Olympics, 2 gold medals. There's a number of reasons for that, right? Firstly, in Uzbekistan, they're very proud of their country. It's always the slightly whacker countries who are always more proud of their country, but whatever. I mean, they're patriotic. And, so he wanted to win gold medals for his country, representing his country. But that's not all. Apparently, the Uzbek government, right? If you win a gold medal for Uzbekistan, I don't know if it's sorted by sport or by what. I don't know, man. But apparently Jalolov got $1 million for winning the Olympics. So, there's an incentive there. Do you know what I'm saying? For a few, a few 3-rounders, and he's head and shoulders above everyone else. Who was in the Olympics, except possibly Teremoana Jr., whatever his name is. Now, a few judges, a few people had him winning around. I mean, I've heard some people even think he won. I don't think that's right. I think Jalolov won, but you know it wasn't easy. I think it was clearly it was his win, but that was his only tough fight. He's fought Teremuana before, and he stopped him actually. But it's one of the worst stoppages I've ever seen. I mean, if you go through his record, there's just so many wins, against top quality opposition. I'm not even going to go through it because he's beaten everyone. He's beaten everyone. I just he stopped Fraser Clark. I'm just looking through, seeing if there's any British guys he fought. I mean, there's everyone here. You just go through Richard Torres Jr. He KO'd brutally in a round. Justice Hooney he beat. They're part of the next gen. So he's already schooled all those guys. He's got a few losses, but only at top level. And not for I'm not even going to count, but scrolling down, it looks like 50 odd fights or something. Since he lost to Jose Larduet on a split decision in the World Series of Boxing. So we're talking about an extremely experienced and extremely good fighter. And as I said, he'd already turned pro anyway. So he's coming back, right? After winning the Olympics, he's coming back to fight again as a pro. Now, as I said, he's got 100% KO record, 14 wins, 14 KOs. Has he beaten anyone good? I mean, his first pro fight was in 2018, which is nuts, right? It's almost 7 years ago. The most recognizable names there is Kamil Sokolowski, the UK-based journeyman from Poland. I think he's failed a drugs test now, but he's always known to be really tough. He dropped a decision to Adelaide, which he won. But, that's a recognizable name. He hasn't got a good record, Sokolovsky, but we all know he's tough. He got dealt with in 5 rounds. Curtis Harper, he's a sort of above-average journeyman. He also got KO'd. And Chris Thompson, who's a guy from South Africa. So there's no one here amazing, There's no one here with an amazing record. But everyone was dealt with, in style, brutally, He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So half of in his pro fights, he's got 40 wins, 14 KOs, and 7 of them are in the first round. I mean, he's clearly a puncher. And thank goodness now. Hopefully, he'll take his pro career seriously because he's jumping around before. He's got the time, obviously, but he's at his peak now. Now is the peak for heavyweight. And there's 2 things that are worth noting about Bakhodir Jalolov, which are interesting, right? Well, first, he's got a pretty whack nickname. It's called the Big Uzbek. Well, yeah, he is big. He's 6'7", He weighs 250 pounds, right? And he's from Uzbekistan. But it's hardly the most imaginative nickname, is it? The Big Uzbek. You know what his real name is? Bakhodir Izomidin Ugly Jalolov. His name is Ugly, Ugli Jalolov. And the other thing you notice, yet again, another fighter, weirdly, his eyes are too close together. Yeah, Jalolov's eyes are too close together, but it doesn't seem to have caused him any problems. Let's see if he can handle the hooks, because like Ben Quitzker couldn't handle the hooks because his eyes are too close together. But yeah, so we have a fight. It's tomorrow. Well, if you're on UK time, what's the time now in the UK? Sorry, it's on Friday. Excuse me. It's on Friday, the 6th of February. David Spilmont, and it will be in Montreal, in Canada. David Spilmont. I mean, he's not the worst fighter in the world. He's from France. 6'3". He weighs around 250 as well, so he's about the same weight. He's got a record of 16 wins, 11 KOs, so that's not a bad ratio. 8 losses, 3 by way of knockout, and a draw. So he's not a world-class fighter. Funnily enough, in his first 7 fights, he lost 4 of them. On his record, let's see if there's any names. Elve Ubo is an okay kind of. He's from Belgium. He was an okay fighter. He had a reasonable record, but he didn't go anywhere. Who's else? Alan Babbage, yeah, bizarrely the most recognizable name now. Spilmont got put down a couple of times, but he really hurt Babbage. He didn't follow it up, and ended up getting stopped in 6. I mean, Babbage was outweighed by 40 pounds as well, and we all know how whack Babbage was. I thank Babbage because I've twice won really good money on him getting KO'd in the first round. But if Spilmont outweighed Babbage, Alan the Bum Babbage, Chinny Alan Babbage, yeah, by 40 pounds, and it didn't even hurt him, but he still got stopped. So I mean, that shows you the level we're at with this guy. His last 2 opponents have been the same guy, Artyom Cherniakovich, right? Who weirdly, in the first fight, he weighed 213 pounds, right? In the second fight, which was 7 months later, he weighed 247 pounds. So he put on almost 35 pounds. It's just a bit odd. But he's got a record of like 4 wins, 33 losses. I mean, a complete bum, basically. So this Spilmont's never beaten anyone good. And he's never really fought anyone good. And now he's fighting a double Olympic champion with 40 wins and 14 KOs. I expect him to be blasted out in a round. I mean, he's never been blasted out that early. But he's been KO'd a few times. I mean, if Bakhodir has to blast him out in 1 or 2 rounds, I'll have a look at the odds, but they can't be that great. I mean, surely. I would have liked a slightly better opponent, but, you could say, oh, well, it's the first pro fight in 2 years and after the Olympics. Yeah, but come on, man. This guy Jalolov is so experienced. So, you'll brush this guy away probably. And then he needs to start moving up quickly. I mean, why bother? Why let him hang around? He's 30. That's not ancient for heavyweight, but still, he should be challenging for the title in a maximum of 2 years, man. A maximum of 2 years. And you could even see him fighting the title. You could probably beat D-Bum now. Yeah. He's been wobbled like once, I think, Jalolov. But, in fact, I know he's been stopped once, but I can't remember what the circumstances of that was. But I have seen a video of him getting hurt and getting put over. So it has happened. But generally, he's pretty solid. And, it's Jalolov time. Jalolov time. The other guys coming up are much younger than him. You got Richard Torres, who's, I think, 23 or 24. He went the distance. He got the silver medal, actually. Torres got... he's 25, Torres. But... Torres got stopped brutally on his face the first time, face down, and the second time for the gold medal match in Paris, he went the distance and gave a decent account of himself. So Torres, and then you got Moses Italma, who's 20 now. So they're the young guns, and Jalolov now is in the perfect position. I mean, those other guys can be moved a bit slower because they're young. But this guy, Jalolov, there's no point. He's so experienced. I'd like to see him fight someone well-rated after this Spilmont. I mean, really. They don't have to be an amazing fighter. They don't have to be in the top. I'd like to see a well-rated, I don't know. Chisora's too short. I mean, I'd fear for Chisora's life, man. Let's have a look, see what we've got in the heavyweights. I don't have any problem with him, starting to take on, I don't know, anyone. Like, he would beat F.A. Jugba, Justice Hooney, Dillian White, Kubrat, Michael Hunter, Joe Joyce, Jared Allen. All these guys he'd beat. Filip Ergovic, Cesora, Andy Ruiz. All these guys he would beat. The naive Swedish oil driller. There's not that much out there. Maybe they should get him Huey Fury. So, you know, I mean, he needs to fight, let's say, at least a name in the top 30. In the top 30, you know? And frankly, I think he should have like 4 fights and then fight for the title. Why bother hanging around when you're that good and that experienced? So I look forward to watching him fight, but I mean, I can't see anything better, huh, than a first or second round KO for Jalolov. Anyway, let's watch his career develop.